JPEG. The photo you took 5 minutes ago, the screenshot sitting in your gallery, the thumbnail you clicked to watch this video, there's a very good chance they're all JPEGs. JPEG, short for Joint Photographic Experts Group, was introduced in 1992. If you've seen .jpg, .jpeg, or even .jpe, they're all the same format. The shorter .jpg only exists because older operating systems limited file extensions to 3 letters. The reason JPEG took over the world is simple. It's lossy. Instead of storing every single pixel perfectly, it finds colors that are almost identical and merges them, throwing away tiny details your eyes are unlikely to notice. The result is dramatically smaller files with only a small loss of quality. That's why it became the standard for phone photos, cameras, websites, and social media. But JPEG has one major weakness. It can't store transparency. If you've ever tried removing the background from a JPEG, you usually end up with a white rectangle instead of a clean cutout. One detail most people never notice. Most JPEGs today are actually wrapped inside something called GIF, which stores extra info like DPI to tell printers how large the image should be on paper. Your phone and monitor completely ignore this because screens only care about resolution. JPEG isn't the highest quality format. It's the one that proved being small and good enough beats being perfect and enormous. And honestly, it changed the internet because of it. PNG. If JPEG is all about saving space, PNG is all about preserving quality. Released in 1996, PNG became the second most popular image format by making the opposite trade-off. Instead of throwing away data, it uses lossless compression, meaning every pixel is preserved exactly. The file is larger, but the quality never degrades, even after saving it 100 times. Its biggest advantage is transparency. Unlike JPEG, which only stores red, green, and blue, PNG adds a 4th channel called alpha. That extra value tells the computer exactly how transparent each pixel should be. So images get smooth cutout edges instead of an ugly white box. That's why PNG is the go-to for logos, icons, graphics, and YouTube thumbnails. A common misconception is that renaming a file from .png to .jpg converts it. It doesn't. You've only changed the label. A real conversion has to completely re-encode the image. And if you convert a transparent PNG to JPEG, every transparent pixel turns white. Nothing ruins a clean design faster than a mysterious white square around your logo. SVG. An SVG isn't made of pixels at all. SVG, short for Scalable Vector Graphics, is actually a text file. Code that describes shapes, lines, curves, colors, and text. Because it's based on math instead of pixels, an SVG can scale almost infinitely without losing quality. Whether it's a tiny website icon or a billboard on a highway, the exact same file stays razor sharp. Blow a JPEG up and it turns into a blurry mess of squares. Blow an SVG up and there's nothing to blur, because there were never any pixels to begin with. That's why SVG is the standard for logos, icons, interfaces, charts, and diagrams. The files are usually tiny, and because they're code, developers can even animate and style them with CSS and JavaScript. The catch is that SVG is terrible for photographs. You can describe a logo with a handful of shapes. You can't realistically describe someone's face or a sunset that way. That's what JPEG and WebP are for. GIF. Despite what most people think, a GIF isn't really a single image. It's a container that stores multiple images called frames and plays them back in sequence to create a looping animation. Released in 1987, GIF became one of the internet's most iconic formats because it made short animations easy to share long before video platforms existed. It even supports transparency, so animated stickers can blend into any background. The problem is, it's incredibly limited. A GIF can only display 256 colors at a time. That's why animated GIFs often look grainy, show obvious color banding, and fall apart on anything resembling real video. Here's the irony. Most GIFs you see on Discord, X, or Reddit today aren't actually GIFs at all. They're usually silent MP4 or WebM videos that look the same but are far smaller and far higher quality. Quick question. How many of these formats did you actually know the difference between before clicking this video? Drop a number in the comments, and if these formats are finally starting to make sense, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel. WebP. If Google could redesign image formats from scratch, WebP would be the result. Introduced by Google in 2010, WebP was built to replace JPEG, PNG, and GIF all at once. Its biggest advantage is flexibility. It supports lossy compression like JPEG, lossless compression like PNG, transparency, and even animation like GIF. Instead of juggling 3 formats, developers can often use just one. Today, over 95% of browsers support WebP, and many sites, including Google's own services, already serve images in WebP automatically without you ever noticing. Honestly, WebP is one of those upgrades you've been benefiting from for years without ever choosing it. Sometimes the best technology is the kind you never notice. RAW. If WebP is about making images as small and web-friendly as possible, RAW goes in the complete opposite direction. RAW isn't one image format, it's a whole category. When you take a normal photo, your camera processes it, sharpens it, adjusts the colors, compresses it, and saves it as a JPEG. A RAW file skips almost all of that and stores the unprocessed sensor data straight off the camera, the digital equivalent of a film negative. Every brand has its own version. Canon uses CR3, Nikon uses NEF, and Adobe created DNG as an open standard. Different files, same purpose. The biggest advantage is flexibility. Because the image hasn't been fully processed, you can recover detail from blown-out skies, fix white balances, and push exposure in ways that would completely fall apart on a JPEG. One common myth is that RAW always means uncompressed. It doesn't. A file is RAW because the image hasn't been permanently processed yet, not because of how it's compressed. Depending on your camera settings, RAW can be uncompressed, lossless compressed, or even lossy compressed. TIFF. Created in 1986, TIFF focuses on preserving as much quality as physically possible. It uses little or no compression, so the files are far larger than JPEGs but keep virtually every detail intact. It also supports transparency, and it has one feature most other formats don't: multiple pages. A single TIFF file can hold several images stacked inside it, which is exactly why it's the standard for scanned documents, medical imaging, archives, and the printing industry. Yes, the file sizes are enormous, but that's the entire point. When you're printing a magazine or preserving a historical document, losing even a sliver of quality isn't an option. ICO. You've probably looked at thousands of ICO files without ever knowing they existed. Introduced with Windows 1.0 back in 1985, ICO is the default icon format across Windows. Every app shortened on your desktop, every folder, and most program icons you've ever clicked have likely been ICO files. Despite being tiny, ICO has a clever trick. A single file can hold multiple versions of the same icon at different sizes: 16 by 16, 32 by 32, 48 by 48, all the way up to 256 by 256. Windows just picks whichever version looks best depending on where the icon appears, whether that's the taskbar, File Explorer, or your desktop. It also supports transparency and lossless compression, so icons stay sharp without eating storage. And it isn't limited to Windows. That little icon in your browser tab, the favicon, has for years commonly been stored as an ICO file. And that's every major format, from JPEG quietly compressing half the internet to RAW handing photographers the untouched digital negative. Each one exists for a reason. So, which format do you actually use the most? JPEG for everyday photos, PNG for transparent graphics? Or are you one of those people who shoots everything in RAW? Let me know in the comments. If this finally made image formats make sense, subscribe. We break down confusing tech into simple explanations every week. Now, here's the thing. You've just learned how a single image gets compressed and stored. But the moment that image starts moving, everything changes. MP4, MOV, MKV, WebM, H.264, H.265, AV1, ProRes, they're everywhere. And most people have no idea which names describe the box and which describe what's actually inside it. That's exactly what we're covering next in every video format explained. Click the video on screen, and I'll see you there.